Hello and welcome back to another episode of Into the 99, where we've got 99 cards because Commander's number one. I am one of your hosts, Daniel. I am joined today with Brian. Brian, how are you doing?
Oh, excellent. This week's going really good. And you know what? This is the second week that my audio sounds great. I'm excited.
The audio does sound great. Brian's really been working on his setup. Even before we get into it, Brian, you can explain why you've been working on the setup, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, like I've gotten a lot of new hardware and I'm using a new program to try to up my studio quality to like what Daniel has with his like hardware itself. But that's because I started a new podcast called Tavern Banter, and it's where we talk about all things D&D, so world building, character creation, like backgrounds, and just rules and just fun with my friends. I think that's the main thing that's all about, right?
Yeah, it's I don't even play D&D, and it's been entertaining to listen to and check out. So you guys should definitely check it out, especially if you love the game. It's made me want to play some more D&D. So it's definitely
You
a good
got
thing.
one session under your belt so far?
Yeah, exactly. I know that it's just a big crossover as well, like crowd wise. That's why there was like the D&D set as well. So yeah, definitely check Brian's stuff out. And then back to my normal question of how are you doing? The rest of the week you said was good?
Yeah, so far so good. I got like a semi promotion at work, so I'm really not going to bat that. So I'm happy. I'm doing a little bit more of what I would like to be doing. So
That's awesome. That's very, very good to hear.
yeah, I'm trying to actually put some of the skills that I've learned from doing this into work at my work. So hopefully it might be a little bit better for me. I might actually enjoy.
A little bit of production stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. We Kalen and I, as like a side thing, might start doing company training videos.
that'd be
So
good.
we've got for people who've seen the streams, by the way, check out the live streams and the videos on YouTube. We'll be streaming next weekend. I'm pretty
Fingers
sure.
crossed.
Yeah, we should be. I'm pretty sure we've got Matt coming back on, and Matt was really, really fun guest with
I
all
enjoy
the
playing that.
yeah, he had really cool decks like the travel kind of stuff. So
Yeah, I built my own.
yeah, other than that, no, week has been pretty good for me. The snow in Calgary was nuts. Like it was crazy. I the whole time, like everything outside of Calgary wasn't bad at all. It was just in Calgary where we live, like we got like a foot and a half of snow. It was
And
like,
minus 40 degrees that one night with the wind
yeah,
chill.
it was pretty crazy. And then now it's back to like the positives and like snow's melting. It's like I have my windows open right now. It's
You're
this
crazy,
city's
man.
wild. Yeah, but we're not here to talk. This isn't a weather podcast. We're talking about Boros because I love Boros cards
Please
in
look at my
general.
green screen.
Yeah. Yeah, no. So this week we're talking Otharri. It's the one of the side commanders from the Rebellion Rising deck. I think that's the name of it.
I have no idea. I didn't even bat an eye at
Uh,
that one. I wanted the other
yeah, I
one.
mean, I just I said it confident enough, so it's probably right. Um, Otharri is a really, really cool commander because it brings something to the color that we haven't had before, and that's experience counters. So Othari's Sun's Glory is 3/1 red, 1 white. It's a 3/3 Phoenix. And I love Phoenix as a tribal. Like that's one of my favorite decks, my Perforos Phoenix one. They're all such cool art. And Otharri is no exception at all to this. Like we've got like this beautiful Phoenix. We've got like the 5 suns of like Mirrodin and stuff in the background. Like you can see the white sun, the blue sun, the black sun, all that stuff. I love it. It's like really, really nice, beautiful artwork. This is a 3/3 for 5 mana with Flying, Lifelink, and Haste. Those are actually really, really good stats generally.
Mm-hmm.
But we care the most about Otharri's ability. And I'll go into why the deck's built how it is in a minute. But when Otharri attacks, you get an experience counter, which is always fun commanders. Then you create a 2/2 red rebel creature token that's tapped and attacking for each experience counter you have. Again, I love this. And then we've got 2/1 red, 1 white. You tap an untapped rebel you control. Return Otharri from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Now, most of the decks I've seen that have like actually gone the route of using Otharri as a commander are, I find, very bland, generic token decks. That's not me being rude or anything. It's just that's what they're building and stuff, right? And a lot of them have like rebels so that you can like use Otharri's like second ability and stuff to return it from the battlefield. No, you don't need Otharri's second ability to return from the battlefield. It's already not that expensive of a commander. What you do with this commander is you politics, because after 1 or 2 swings with Othari's a problem. It doesn't matter. Like if you want to remove it, then you're just bringing the bird onto yourself, right? All you're doing is like you're making my rage to you like a phoenix from the ashes, literally. And yeah, Othari puts out damage. So like I said, a lot of it is like generic token stuff, and I didn't find that an exciting route to go because Othari generates so much tokens already. And I thought that this deck can like bring like a lot of cool stuff. It's actually like a fairly budget deck. Like it's only $120-ish, and I'm sure you could thin that down here and there. There's certain things I have in the deck that I like, but even still at $120 for like a fun, aggressive deck, I really, really like it. So number one is I care about experience counters in this deck. I just want to get as many experience counters as I can, and I want to make as many of those rebels, because that's an insane ability to just like get like basically like a better Hero of Bladehold effect every swing.
Would Mondrak help you with the experience counters? Because I think it's the counters that you put on people too that it would double.
Which one's Mondrak?
He's the new white Dominus.
I think Mondrak is tokens.
Oh, tokens. Sorry, nope. That's my bad.
Yeah, Mondrak is tokens. But again, if you went the token doubling, rebels. Yeah, if you went the token doubling way, because again, those other ones coming in are tapped and attacking. It just like I said, the first turn that this comes out. So yeah, what I was saying is you're basically swinging like for 5 damage here. The first time, the second time you're going up, you've got another 4 that are coming in, so you're swinging for 7, and you have another 2/2. This just gets out of hand really, really fast. So we'll start in artifacts. I went like a heavy proliferation, like basically everything you can do to proliferate in this color, we're doing. So actually, before we even go into artifacts, we want to heavy proliferate. We'll talk about the one planeswalker in the deck, because I have not really seen anyone playing it before. I really, really think this is a cool commander, the Zerial.
Okay.
Yeah, I've changed it back to the right version of it. So Zerial is the only planeswalker in the deck. It's 2 double red. It starts at 4. It's +1 as creatures you control get 1/0 and haste until end of turn. Yep. That's not as amazing for us. We're going to gain a little more life, but meh. It's
all of your tokens as well, right?
Right. It's 0 is you create a 1/1 red devil with whenever it dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. Again, not a horrible thing. If we're doing an assessment on it, it's making something at a minimum to protect itself, just not at a plus. But it's the -6 that we really, really care about, and we want to proc as many of these -6s as we can, and we're proliferating, right? Yep. So the -6 is you get an emblem with, at the end of your first combat on your turn, untap target creature you control. After this phase, there's an additional combat phase.
Gross.
Yeah, so like generally speaking, untapping one creature for an additional combat phase isn't phenomenal, you know?
Yeah.
But when we just want to proc experience counters, that doesn't matter, because again, like I said, if Zerial's already out and ready to go and we just bring out Otharri, right? Mm-hmm. We're going to be swinging the first turn. We're going to, let's say Brian's open. I swing Otharri, Brian gets hit for 5. I untap Otharri, then Brian gets hit for another 3, so 6 commander damage, and then another 4 damage like in it. So he's already taken 12 damage from that one swing. That's a pretty hefty amount to lose from just one creature on the board.
Well, that's a quarter of your life right there in one turn.
Yeah, right. Okay, so now yes, we'll jump into our artifacts.
Go back into the artifacts.
Yeah, I know. I'm making you scroll everywhere. So the first one is Astral Cornucopia. Just because again we're running so much proliferate stuff that I think it's almost like it's almost criminal to not run this in a in a proliferate deck. You should run something like Astral Cornucopia.
Do you know what the funny thing is? I typically don't run this card. I probably should. I see it in like so many lists, and I'm just like, I don't see a point.
Well, it enters with X charge counters on it, right? And then you tap, you choose a color, add 1 mana of each. Add 1 mana of each color. So in your Atraxa deck, essentially, like for 3 mana, there's just infinitely like 3 mana is a command sphere, right?
Yep.
Tap for 1 of any color, and then in any deck that can proliferate anything, this just gets better and better and better and better.
That's true. I should really add it in, see how it goes.
Well, and it's $1. It's like $1.50.
Man, you're breaking the bank here, Dan.
It gets pretty out of control. Oh yeah, we've got a ton of artifact ramp in this deck.
Oh, yeah, and that's, you know what? Like I said, I love to see it because I started to go the exact same route. Is just trying to clear a ramp in a cheaper way instead of using those expensive cards.
Yeah, again, you could definitely upgrade this deck and make it perform much better. Like you throw a Jeweled Lotus in this, like they just said that they're reprinting that. You could pretty
Yeah.
easily like Jeweled Lotus, Lotus Petal, and a Plains Othari out, and just be like, "What's up? Here's the Bird of Destiny."
Yeah, you get it out turn one and it has haste already.
Yeah, haste and it's already token generating from the get go.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah. The next one we've got here is the Boros Cluestone. So it's just 3. It taps for 1 red or white, and then a red and a white, tap it, sack it, draw a card. Not horrible late game if you're stalling out a little bit, and pretty good early. Also in this deck, just kill anyone who's trying to, like, if they're a pillow fort player, you have to attack them with this. You can't let people be like, oh yeah, well, you can't attack me. I'm going to play blah 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 blah. You got to kill those players first. You're not worried about blocking the mass creature player. You don't care about that guy.
I feel
You got
personally attacked.
you are personally attacked, Brian. This is your play style.
It is my playstyle.
You got to blitz the control players. Yeah, you're not much of a control player, but you're a counterpunch player.
I just like to be safe.
That's true.
Next up, we have the Boros Locket, 3 colorless. Tap it to add a red or a white, and you can tap 4 white or red to sacrifice the Boros Locket to draw 2 cards. So again, a good late game with that card draw.
Yeah, nice little ramp there. We also have our Boros Signet because again, we need mana real bad in this deck. It's 2 mana. You tap 1, you add 1 red, 1 white.
It's a Boros deck. You need the ramp. And then obviously we said it, the Commander Sphere. Tap for add 1 mana of any color. Sacrifice it, draw a card. I see what your deck is. It's secretly draw cards.
Yeah, secretly it's a draw deck. We've got Contagion Clasp, which again is really gonna put in work for what we want to do. It's 2 mana. When it enters, you put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, and then for 4 you proliferate. So that -1/-1 might remove something indestructible, but we don't really care that much about it. It's
At least it lets you put something on the indestructible, because if you are proliferating, then at least you
yeah,
would be able to slowly remove it, or at least get it to a point where you don't worry about it anymore.
yeah, but that proliferate, as much as we can trigger it, the better. And again, we've got a lot of these things because even if our commander's not out, we can still be proliferating those counters.
Yep.
And it can be much more of a threat when that commander comes back out with 10 experience counters and it's going to swing for it and then 20 damage of tokens.
I keep forgetting that experience counters don't go away. That
Yeah.
they're there regardless of effect. So
Yeah,
it's not
they're
like your
on
bird's
you.
getting bigger. Yeah.
Right?
So next up here we do have the upgraded version of the clasp. We have the Contagion Engine, 6 colorless. When Contagion Engine enters the battlefield, put a -1/-1 counter on each creature target player controls. You can pay 4 to tap it to proliferate, then proliferate again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and you're just upgrading the... Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. It's definitely because again, even just the ability to you drop a -1/-1, then we hit our proliferate again. We're clearing most people's boards at -3/-3.
Yep.
You know, whoever's problematic, whoever's wronged us by targeting our glorious bird, it's it's
Or apparently
they're
just
getting
trying
this.
to defend themselves.
Yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. They're just trying to live, and I'm just trying to fly the skies. But again, like I said, even if we only have 1 experience counter, right? This is going to take Otharri's experience counters to 2, then to 3, and the swing is going to take us up to 4. So, like, again, we're going to be bringing in 8 with us. It's a lot. It's great.
Seems like you're going on like my freedom is the right kind of freedom. You can't defend yourself.
I've been watching way too much Attack on Titan stuff.
That's funny.
We have an Everflowing Chalice in the deck because, again, for the same reason, we want just proliferation targets because it's kind of the secondary theme in the deck. The first theme is Punch Face. The second theme is Proliferate. The 2 Ps.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so we've got a 0-cost artifact with a multi-kicker of 2. It enters with a charge counter on it for each time it was kicked, and you tap, you add 1 for each charge counter on it. Not bad.
Nope, not bad at all. Next up, like I mentioned, Fire Diamond, another cheap mana ramp. 2 colorless. Fire Diamond enters the battlefield tapped, and tap it to add 1 mana. Red mana.
Yeah, I have been enjoying just using the garbage rocks lately to power ramp commanders out.
Yeah, like I mentioned, it brings it down to the kind of level of Magic that I like to play. See how my decks actually like long games, not hey turn 3 I win.
Yeah. This next one I really like in this deck. It's Glistening Sphere. It's 3 mana. It enters tap, so that's a little downside. But when it enters, we proliferate, which is definitely what we want. And then taps to add 1 mana of any color, and then you can add 3 mana of any one color, activate only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. Just with the games that are going on right now, it's actually not unlikely that you'll also be able to trigger that even without the poison counters.
Yeah,
Yeah, Brian's playing poison. Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Next up, we have the Halo Fountain, 2 and a white. Pay 1 white. Tap. Untap a target tapped. Untap a tapped creature you control to create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token. Tap 2 white to untap 2 tapped creatures you control to draw a card. Tap 5 white and tap it to untap 15 tapped creatures you control, and you win the game.
So I love this card in this deck because number one, it's a phenomenal source of card draw. 2 white to draw a card is not bad in white, and our commander puts these creatures in tapped and attacking.
Yep.
So if we have enough experience counters and we get this on board, we just attack and win. We hit our 15 tapped creatures on the swing.
Yeah, and then pay the 5, untap them. Yeah.
Yeah, so Halo Fountain's a nice hidden win. It's going to generate us some more tokens. Like we don't really need it, but I really like that alternative win condition. Just
Yep.
games have got to end somehow, and I like it. Untapping 15 tapped creatures is generally kind of hard because you've got to build up quite the board state a lot of time to get there, right?
I think it's a fair win.
Yeah, but we're getting so many. Like again, even if you're just being nice and going around the board, right? Swing 1 is 1 creature, then the swing 2 is you're up to 3 extra creatures. Swing 3 you're up to 6, and then the 4th swing, which isn't that much and stuff, like you're up to your 10 creatures.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah, like you're really quick, and that's if you're not proliferating anything, right? I like it a lot.
Yeah,
we've also got Helm of the
nice.
Host, 4
Ooh.
mana legendary equipment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a token that's a copy of a equipped creature, except the creature isn't legendary. If it is legendary, you make it. So again, we're gonna have 2 Otharri triggers. That's what we want.
Gross.
So I'll swing with Otharri number 1, get an experience counter, put in like let's say 5 tapped and attack creatures. Then the second one gets us up to 6, and it's giving us 6. It's Helm of the Host is gonna put work in.
Ugh. Just ugh. This one, Lux Cannon. Did they reprint this, or did they come out with a new kind of cannon? Because I really like the new art. But this one's 4 colorless.
I think you're thinking Lux Artillery. Lux Artillery is a great card too, though.
Yeah, that one. Lux Cannon, so 4 colorless. Tap it to put a charge counter on Lux Cannon. Tap it to remove 3 charge counters from it and destroy target permanent.
Yeah,
good.
We're generally proliferating enough that it's gonna be triggerable pretty easy.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good idea.
And yeah, just the destroy permanent. Like we can hit that guy as Cradle if we're in a higher power one. We can hit that. I don't know. Let's say someone's playing Mind Crank or Mesmeric Orb, and you're Brian, you're a monster. Stop playing those cards, please.
I have a family. I target your Mesmeric Orb. I make a copy.
Yeah. We've got Mind Stone again, just for some more cheap, quick ramp. 2 mana, you tap for 1, pay 1, sack it, draw a card. Again, good theme of.
Yeah, sub theme, draw cards. Obviously, Soul Ring. We're going to be running that.
Yeah, we need mana as fast as we can get it. To be honest, a lot of the time.
Oh, this is a newer card.
Yeah, this is from the deck. It's Staff of the Storyteller, 1 and a white. When it enters, you create a 1/1 white spirit with flying. So again, nice little just chump blocker. Whenever you create 1 or more creature tokens, you put a story counter on it. Tap, remove a story counter from it, draw a card.
Yeah, that's really good. I saw it. Someone posted it on Instagram, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, I didn't even realize how good that card was.
It's a great early thing for us. And as well, again, just we're generating tokens so consistently that it's not going to matter.
No, it's not. At least it's a guaranteed secondary card drive return.
Yeah. We have our Strionic Resonator as well. 2 mana.
This
You
artwork's dope.
Yeah, you pay 2, you tap it, you copy target triggered ability you control, you can choose new targets, and triggers are when, whenever, or at. So yeah, we're going to be able to get our second proliferate. If we copy our commander's trigger, we're getting a second experience counter because it's a trigger when it attacks. Second experience counter, second instance of putting creatures in, and again, it's a lot. It's a lot of creatures.
I really like that art, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
Next up, we have one of the pairs of boots. We got Swiftfoot Boots, 2 colorless. Equipped creature has hexproof and haste, and it's 1/2 equip. No Swift, no Lightning Greaves.
like $13 right now.
Oh.
What am I, rich? I gotta take decks apart at some point. I got so many of them, but I'm not spending $13 for boots.
Yeah, that's true.
They're too fast.
I got a lot of Swiftfoots, not a lot of Lightning Greaves.
There you go. And then our last one on our list here is this Talisman of Conviction. 2 mana, it taps for colorless or one of each of our colors, either or of our colors, sorry, and it deals 1 damage to you. Again, we've got a pretty solid little ramp package, especially for a Boros deck. Like, I think that we are pretty consistently going to see at least some of it.
Yeah.
We've got a little bit of card draw in there too. It's not so bad.
No, I think that's a really good list of artifacts for a. Do you know what? Boros seems to always have a lot of artifacts.
Well, it's just colors that like work with them, right?
That's very true.
So, we've got not many creatures in this deck. I don't think it needs it, but there's a few.
Let's starting to take a look at those ones.
Yeah, it's a real budget creature section too. It's like $11 for 11 creatures, a buck a creature basically. We've got Dark Dweller Oracle, 1 in a red. It's a 2/2 Goblin Shaman. We pay 1, sack a creature, exile the top card. You may play that this turn. We generate so many creatures that this doesn't matter to us. So we're just able to dig through our deck. If we stall out and we've got no cards in hand, it's nothing to throw away 3 rebels. They're dying for the cause in this deck, you know?
Eyes are unnecessary for seeing the future.
It's true. It's very, very true.
At first, I didn't know what he was holding. I thought it was a stick of dynamite, but it's a rat or a mouse.
It's something, yeah.
Next up, actually, I do like this card, Grateful Apparition. I took it out of the Infect deck and I put it into my my Traxa deck because the ability is so good. So it's 1 in a white. It's a spirit, flying. Whenever Grateful Apparition deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, proliferate. Just a good ability.
It is a good ability. You could pretty easily go into some counters as well, like 1/1 counters with this kind of a shell as well. Mm-hmm. And they'd get like if you have a Cathar's Crusade or something lying around and you wanna build something like this, a Cathar's Crusade is gonna really do work. Yeah, that is. 10 creatures enter, all getting 10 1/1s. Yeah, Cathar's Crusade would slap hard. Yeah, it's definitely a nice one to get through. We also have Hellrider. Just if we, again, if we've got someone who's got just a huge amount of life, this is going to really chunk it down. It's 2 double red for a 3/3 devil. It has haste. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking.
Yeah, that's really good, especially with the amount of tokens that you're going to be making.
Yeah, we've got so many creatures already.
Next up, Hissing Iguanar.
Yeah.
2 at a red creature lizard. Whenever another creature dies, you may have Hissing Iguanar deal 1 damage to target player or planeswalker.
Yeah, I like the nice little anti-board wipe that it's got there. It's you want to kill my stuff, then it's going to hurt.
We're going to have a problem.
Yeah, we're going to have a problem. The Phoenix is coming back at you. And this generates tokens fast. I've played this. I've played a few games with this one already. This generates tokens fast.
Yeah, it does.
I like this. We also have Jazal Goldmane, which is like a really cool card for this deck. So it's 2 double white, 4/4 Cat Warrior with first strike. For 3 double white, attacking creatures you control get XX until end of turn, where X is the number of attacking creatures. Generally speaking, like a lot of like when this creature attacks triggers, they don't matter. But Jazzle's ability will see all of the creatures that Otharri makes as tapped and attacking. So again, we have 5 of those things. We pay 5 mana. All of our creatures are going to get 6/6 till end of turn. So now we're rolling heavy with, like, again, if we only have 5 experience counters, we're rolling with like 8 or 5 8/8. So we've got 40 damage on the board there, and our commander's a 9/9 lifelinker.
That's gross.
Yeah, Jazzle's definitely got a lot of cool abilities.
This one reminds me of a card that I don't actually see in your list, but Mirror Entity.
Mirror Entity, yeah, that's another great one.
That would work
where you
really
can just
well.
pay to give all your creatures, yeah.
You just make
Plus,
them
it'd be a
base
rebel,
power.
so you could, well, and you could also trigger the rebel ability to bring Otharri back after a board wipe with it.
Yep. Because you could
That'd be
technically
nice.
make all your creatures the every creature type.
Well, no, it's the Mirror Entity itself would be a rebel because it's a shapeshifter.
Yep, very true.
So, yeah, you'd be able to go heavy with it.
Next up, we have Martyr. Woo! Screen. Martyr for the Cause. 1 and a white human soldier. Whenever Martyr for the Cause dies, proliferate.
We throw them away for the noble cause.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, the next one.
Yeah, Mentor of the Meek is also just an all-star card in this deck. We've got a ton of mana rocks earlier, so even if we've got nothing to play, Mentor of the Meek is going to refill our hand really fast. 2 and a white for a 2/2 human soldier. Whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters under your control, you can pay 1 if you do draw a card. Again, that's pretty solid. I make 5 creature tokens. I pay 5, draw 5 cards. I'm not really missing land drops. I'm able to do a lot of silly shenanigans.
I really like this next card, but I think it's one that you should probably go take. Norn's Choirmaster. It just seems like such a good creature.
Well, yeah, this again, it's doing 100% of what the deck's like themed around. Norn's Choirmaster's 3 double white for a 5/4 for X and Angel with flying and first strike. Those are good stats. Whenever a commander you control enters or attacks, proliferate. And again, if you kill my commander, then if it's only at 3, it enters. It enters angry. It enters. It gets 4. It swings. It gets 5. This is every game that I've played this commander so far, I've been able to get my experience counters up to like the 15 mark.
Well, it would enter, so that'd be 4 and 5, and then on attack, that is also 6 and 7.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because yeah, when it enters, it would go from 4 to 5, and then the attack it goes to 6, then it goes to 7. Yeah, that's a lot.
It's rough.
Yeah, it puts in a lot of work, and as well, like I said, we've got those other artifacts, like we have our Astral Cornucopia, our Everflowing Chalice, that kind of stuff. We've also got our what's the word? Our Lux Cannon. So we're going to be able to, a lot of turns, we're going to be able to trigger that Lux Cannon nearly every turn, blowing whatever permanent we don't want on the battlefield off for a tap.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, I like it.
Then we have Oreskos Explorer, 1 and a white. Cat Scout. When Oreskos Explorer enters the battlefield, search your library for up to X planes cards, where X is the number of players who control more lands than you. Reveal those cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle. I need this.
It's such a phenomenal early card, especially like if you're the player who goes last. You know, like it's everyone's on 3 lands. You still aren't even behind on lands, but then you dump in Oreskos Explorer, go fetch 3 lands to hand, and then you're sitting great for the game.
I still play my land after.
Yeah, it's also specifically plains cards. It's not basic plains.
Yep, that's awesome. So I love the word type.
Yeah, you can grab. Generally speaking, in this, you don't have to scroll down to it, but like I've got. I have like the Alpine Meadow, like the snow plains, the mountain plains, like enters tapped, like those kind of things. The Sacred Peaks, it's a mountain plains and enters tapped. So it's nice to go fetch those out and everything. I've been playing one of my play groups. We play any tapped duels enter untapped.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it definitely helps out and stuff a lot. It's nice, even if you're not playing that way, it's still fetching out a great amount of cards for you.
No, especially if you're only having 2 lands in your opening hand. Like if I started off with 2 plains and this guy, I would probably keep that.
Yeah, well, exactly, right?
Next up, we have Sublime. Oh no, I just went, but oh well. Sublime Archangel, mine. 2 and 2 and a white, or 2 and 2 white. Flying and Exalted. Whenever a creature you control attacks alone, that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and other creatures you control have Exalted. Oh, because you're just swinging with your.
Yes, yeah, because they're not attacking. They're tapped and attacking, but they aren't declared as attackers. So we've got our we're able to always swing. Like, again, if we've got 10 creatures before the swing, Otharri is going to get 10/10 and then still generate his number of tokens as well.
Gross.
Yeah. So really, really big. Like, Otharri really also replenishes your life very fast. That lifelink is just a pretty phenomenal, like, extra stat that's just kind of hidden into the card, because it's not really what your deck's built into. But man, does it really, like, because this commander you're swinging, you're not just hanging out and being like, let's wait to see what happens. This is an I swing commander.
Right?
Yeah, you got to be aggressive with this one.
Be aggressive.
Yeah, and then we have a War Priest of Thune as well. It's 1 and 1 white for human cleric, 2/2. When it enters, you may destroy target enchantment. Across every one of my play groups, I see a lot of enchantments right now. So, yeah, looking at you.
I don't know who you're talking about. We moving on to these enchantments.
Yeah, you can take this first one and see how stupid it is.
So we have Breath of Fury, 2 and 2 red, enchantment aura, enchant creature you control. When an enchanted creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it and attach Breath of Fury to a creature you control. If you do, untap all creatures you control, and after this phase, there is an additional combat phase.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Dumb?
so you can get nearly infinite combats with it, like by just throwing away your rebels.
That's gross.
Right? It's kind of nice.
Get out of here.
We also have a card I don't see played very often, but that I really like. It's Chained to the Rocks. It's 1 white. It's like a 79-cent enchantment aura. You enchant a mountain you control. When Chained to the Rocks enters, exile target creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield.
Who's blowing up mountains? Yeah, like.
Yeah, right? It's I like it a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
It's also just very fun. It's very fun to just tell people I'm going to chain them to the rocks.
Like you're humbled.
Yeah, exactly. The Humble's a great card too. People should play.
Goblin Bombardment. I have a foil version of this one. I absolutely love it. 1 in a red, sacrifice a creature. Goblin Bombardment deals 1 damage to any target.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah,
I like it. We have Hyena Umbra as well. We don't really care if Otharri hits. It's not so much about Otharri hitting, it's about attacking, right? We just want to generate tokens. Hyena Umbra's just going to give us that extra little bit of protection.
I love all the Umbras.
Yeah, it's a 1 white. It's going to give our creature 1/1 first strike and totem armor. So making it much, much harder to destroy. Maybe letting us, again, smash face a little earlier, like if we're swinging 4/4 kind of thing. A little easy, like if someone's got an Atraxa, for instance. Right?
I don't know.
It's just something. Well, Atraxa is very popular right now, right? So again, this is going to let us not get death touched in the air by Atraxa, who would normally live.
That's true, yeah.
Right? And then we'd have the Hyena Umbra to save us, even if that Atraxa's gotten
bigger, yep.
Yeah.
Hey, this one looks familiar as well. We have Impact Tremors, 1 in a red. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, the Impact Tremor deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Not good.
That's going to really do work in this. I like these ones. I didn't put Perforos in. It seemed too much. But it was in the original list.
Let me tell you.
Yeah. We've also got an Outpost Siege, and I love all of these like siege cards.
Yep.
3 in a red. As it enters, you choose Cons or Dragons. With Cons, at the beginning of our upkeep, we exile a top card of our library. Until end of turn, we can play it. That's great to dig through. I really like to choose Dragons with this, though. Whenever a creature you control leaves, it deals 1 damage to any target. Again, that big threat of a board wipe of if you board wipe me, like the card's artwork, I'm going Scorched Earth at you.
Do you like your life?
Yeah, exactly. Well, and like I said, you get tokens so quick, right? So it's not unreasonable that board wiping me with this card out is going to cost you 20 life, like 20 life, 10 life kind of thing. Like,
yeah. Next, oh, whoops, that's the one we were just looking at. I've seen this card. I've never played this card. We have Sunbird's
I,
Invocation.
I love this card, and it's in purely for flavor because we're a phoenix.
Ooh, that's very good actually. I like it. Unless D&D, I always go for the flavor instead of like
There you
min
go.
maxing or like going for like the in our turn
Yeah,
CEDH like terms. Uh, flavor's always the correct route.
yeah,
Uh,
right.
but yes,
I, I, I was
take
gonna
it.
say before we go into that, that's how I like to build and stuff, right? Like you can build all of my decks much better than me, for sure. Anyone who wants to upgrade my decks can very easily do so, right? I could do so too. I've got a lot of cards, but a lot of them are fun. A lot of times I'm playing like to like base a lot of it on fun, like what's going to be fun, what's going to be a little chaotic, because like the more consistent things are generally, the more chaotic they're going to be, right? So like cards like Sunbirds, which Brian's about to read, I really love because they're so roulette based. But yeah, like I like to go for like the flavor and stuff. You could make Othari very strong. Like after playing Othari, just even in this $120 deck, like it puts in work. It is a monster. All right, carry on with
I've
Sunburst
seen the number
Invocation.
of creatures you've made, so
Yeah,
so we got Sunbird's Invocation, 5 and a red enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell from your hand, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is that spell's mana value. You may cast a spell with mana value X or less from among the cards revealed this way without paying its mana cost. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Never mind, I need to get me one of these.
yeah, it's definitely pretty cool. You're just for everything you're doing, you're just getting a free roulette chance to possibly hit free cards. And
Everybody
Boros
loves
needs
free.
it. Boros needs it so bad. Come on.
Oh, you hit me with this
Pardon me.
card.
One
Please
sec
take
here.
it away.
One moment. I'm over here. Okay. Here we go. Yes, Brian was saying I just hit him with this card. Sorry, I was coughing.
Stop
We've
dying.
got Tenuous Truce. It's 1 and a white. You enchant an opponent. At the beginning of enchant an opponent's end step, you and that player each draw a card. And whenever you attack them or they attack you, you sacrifice the truce. I love this card. I've been really putting in a lot of decks lately.
I love politics.
It's really nice because it can kind of save the game for someone who's having a bad game. Like if they don't have the land drops, you can again, you're still getting the draw that you want.
Yep.
You're making an early kind of ally thing, and it's nice, you know.
This probably let Daniel have the game, in all honesty, because I wanted
No, I
that
don't
card
think
draw.
so.
Oh, I wasn't attacking you that game.
I wasn't attacking you with the bird.
That's very true.
You were going to find out the bird was the word.
Bird, 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 bird is the word. Unquestioned authority. That's Daniel playing. 2 and a white. Enchant creature when unquestioned authority enters the battlefield. Draw a card. Enchanted creature has protection from creatures.
Yep.
Only the ancestors should be revered.
True. The ancestors of the mighty Skybird.
Yeah, respect your elders, Daniel.
Right. No, I unquestioned authority again. If we're playing into flyers in the off chance that we are, like it's not every deck is not flying. This is just going to let us keep swinging out at people.
Yep.
You can't block my Otharri. You can again because I don't care about you blocking the rebels. I just care about getting those experience like counters so that I can keep making them. Right. So block my chump rebels away.
I don't care.
Yeah. Right. And then obviously we have like a
turn.
Warstorm Surge just because we're generating creatures every time we swing. Right. Again, if we have five counters on it, we're going to do 10 damage on the swing. That's good.
Oh, that's gross.
And that's before people can even declare blockers too.
Ugh.
Yeah, we've got 5 in a red. Whenever a creature enters under your control, it deals damage equal to its power to any target.
Why didn't I play this card? Interesting.
Yeah, Warstorm Surge is definitely a very cool one.
Going into our instance?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's another one people don't really play very often. Angelic Ascension. 1 and a white. You exile target creature or planeswalker. Its controller creates a 4/4 white angel with flying. That angel's going to swing at you, for sure. It's coming at you.
But what did you remove, though?
That's exactly it, right?
I didn't even know this card was out there, but yeah, I'm obviously going to be starting to slot that into my removal sections.
And that's if you think about it, again, like I said, Atraxa is one of the most played commanders right now because it's so cool. You can build Atraxa so different. Like Greg has an Atraxa deck, Brian has an Atraxa deck, I have an Atraxa deck. Every one of them is vastly different decks, right? So it like again, you already have a 4/4 angel with Atraxa, but that is a danger angel, right? I would much rather you have this one that doesn't proliferate every turn
and doesn't
death
have death
touch and vigilance and
lifelink.
add lifelink. Yeah, Atraxa's statted to the max.
Why,
Right, yeah. So
why isn't
like I said,
Sheath up there with the Elish Norn? Why isn't the Norn the mommy? It seems like Atraxa
Right.
should be up there.
and then the other thing too is that like again, like Avacyn's like a very common card, right? I'll trade your 8/8, all your permanents are indestructible for a 4/4. That's gonna beat my face, sure.
Yep. I understand.
Like I said, I've been including this one a lot more as just again, I can live with that trade off of a 4/4 flyer.
Yeah. Next up, we have Brave the Elements. 1 white. Choose a color. White creatures you control gain protection from the chosen color until end of turn.
Our rebels are weirdly not red and white; they're only white. But
oh, that makes it. That's good then.
Yeah, it's less good, so it doesn't. We don't get the pro white across everything, but we're gonna get it for like our creatures that generally matter.
Yep.
Like again, like our Mentor of the Meek is much more important than our rebel creatures, right? Our Sublime Archangel, all of our proliferate ones, they're all in white, so we're saving a lot of what we need. Yeah.
Obviously, this next card's gonna be in here.
Yeah, Chaos Warp's such a cool card. It's 2 and a red. Again, I love the chaos aspect of everything. The owner of target permanent shuffles it, then reveals the top card of the library. If it's permanent, they put it on the battlefield. Chaos Warp is, to me, almost a must-have in a deck.
Next up, we have Contractual Safeguard, 2 and a white. Addendum. If you cast a spell during your main phase, put a shield counter on a creature you control. Choose a kind of counter on a creature you control, and put a counter of that kind on each other creature you control. Interesting. Oh, you can put the shield counter and then the shield counter across everyone?
Across everyone, and we proliferate like every turn right now.
So everyone gets a...
No, well, everyone will have like 5 shield counters. And then you'd have to destroy all my creatures 5 times for them to be destroyed.
I don't like that.
I really, Contractual Safeguards, an MVP card. And again, 35 cents to like make our field just disgusting.
I love this next card.
Yeah, take it.
Oh
yeah, I like it.
Deflecting Palm, a red and a white. The next time a source of your choice would deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. If damage is prevented this way, Deflecting Palm deals that much damage to that source's controller.
I love someone coming at me with a big Voltron commander.
Even if they're like, I want to, the life gain counter, I nuke someone for 50 damage.
Aetherflux, yeah, you Aetherflux me for 50 and take 50 more.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I prevent that damage and now you die.
Definitely cool. I like that it's one of my more expensive instants in the deck too.
Yeah. I was going to say the Chaos Warp too.
Right. We've also got Disenchant. Basically just the naturalize of white. 1 and a white. You destroy target artifact or enchantment. I got no problem with that one. I like it.
Oh, and then erase? Exile target enchantment? Exile. Just if something has exile, get rid of it for something that destroys. If you could remove something for good, do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well,
there's so many Hall of Heliod's Generosity. Yeah, Erase is a cool one.
I'm just gonna be stacking up my decks now. I'm gonna go in and be like, I want all of your erases, please.
Well, there's so many like cool like cheap removals. Like, because again, this has significant. If Slothy was here, he'd be applauding me because this has more than 5 instants.
There's so much interaction.
Yeah, there's a little interaction in this one. Finally.
Oh, this next one I don't think I've seen.
Oh, the old Justice Strike?
Yeah. Please tell me what you do with this one.
Yes. 1 red, 1 white. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. If something has like a death touch, like an Atrax or anything like that, like you just like
think about
it. Yeah, you smash those things. If it's like a Blightsteel, right? Blightsteel is indestructible. You can't remove Blightsteel, but Blightsteel deals damage in infect counters, so Blightsteel would deal 11 infect to itself.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
I love to Justice Strike, and it's the same thing. If somebody comes at me, you want to come at me with your 30/30 commander, Justice Strike. I like it a lot. Justice Strike's a very cool card. I've really enjoyed it ever since it's come out.
This one is one of my usual cards that I throw in there. We got Return to Dust, 2 and 2 white. Exile target artifact or enchantment. If you cast the spell during your main phase, you may exile up to one other target artifact or enchantment.
I love the utility of both of that. Like, you can instantly respond to something that's a problem, or you can save
Hold
it and
off.
you get doubled up.
This next card too.
The Rootborn Defenses, 2 and a white. You populate, creatures you control gain indestructible at the end of turn. You're getting an extra rebel, but we're saving our creatures from the board wipe, and then turning our fury at whoever board wiped.
That indestructible.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to actually pick that up today, I think.
I like this one a lot. If you have like the budget, a Flawless Maneuver in its place would be really good as well. Just the white free spell one.
That one is
which
good.
was also in the commander deck, so it's in the other Boros tokens deck I just made.
It's in that commander deck?
Yeah. Yeah, they just reprinted it in the commander deck. It's got an Elspeth Hero. That commander deck's got a lot of value in it, actually. It's, I think, the two, the Infect and the Rebellion one?
Mm-hmm.
The Rebellion one cards are actually more expensive, but people are selling the Infect one for higher generally because it's more popular.
Find it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to pick that one up for another Flawless Maneuver.
It's got a lot of really good cards in it. The Clever Concealment is the one that you'd be interested in.
Okay.
Let me read you Clever Concealment quickly.
Well, while you find that, I got Stave
Off. One second. I got it right here.
You're too fast.
Clever Concealment is 2 and 2 white. It's an instant. It has Convoke, so you can just tap your creatures for 1 colorless or one of the mana's color. So basically tap 4 white creatures or whatever. Any number of target non-land permanents you control phase out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And that's definitely like in your playstyle, like in your wheelhouse of
protecting my stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, again, exactly. Someone tries to board wipe you and you're essentially free to Fairy's protectioning that isn't for you. Or you can declare everything blocked after it's all been blocked and damage is like assigned. Then you phase everything out, nothing's there. And then you're like, oh, what's up?
Amazing. So the next card in Daniel's list here is Stave Off. 1 white. Target creature gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. A lot of protection. Yep. I can see why, because you do really want that Phoenix to stay alive.
Yeah, I don't want to. 7 mana for the second time I cast it is rough, and that vengeance. There's a reason the vengeance is coming.
Truth.
Yeah, we have Unbounded Potential, which is, I think, just beautiful artwork. It's really, really cool.
Oh, Pegasus, it's like in the background.
The young and the old version of it. I just love it. But it's 1 and white. You choose one. You put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So again, that is going to work in our deck. Or you can proliferate, or you can entwine it.
So good.
Yeah. So for 6, you can get 2 of your creatures much bigger. Like your commander's obviously going to be 1, and then you proliferate. Right. This is everything we kind of want in a deck like that.
Yeah. Then we have Valor Made Real. 1 white instant. Target creature can block any number of creatures this turn. Interesting.
I like that. Yeah, you think that I'm tapped out because I only have like 1 like Mentor of the Meek untapped, and you try swing
Joke's
heavy
on you.
at me.
It's indestructible, and you can block everyone.
Yeah, right. I really like that card. Valor Made Real and Mark are 2 of my favorite. Like you never see them cards.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's so silly because we all generally threat assess on what's common, right? That's like that's the best way to like look at things. So what's common is that like if there's 7 untapped mana and one of it's blue, maybe a Cyclonic Rift is coming, right? Kind of thing. So no one's really threat assessing around a 1 mana instant that's going to let me block your whole field with 1 creature. Yeah. So it's really, really easy to bait like another, again, right? Otharri is creating tokens, but if you've got a lot of creatures, you can block them, right? But let's say that you get a little froggy and you decide to leap at old Daniel. No. So I block everything with just 1 untapped rebel or something, because you think, oh well, he can block 1, but whatever, and then you're tapped out. I really like Valor Made Real a lot.
That's amazing. And then
this next one too, Brent?
I've never seen this one. So we got Volt Charge, 2 in red. Volt Charge deals 3 damage to any target and then proliferate.
Yeah, we really like to proliferate in this game.
Oh, I've definitely seen this one before, though.
Yeah, we've got Wear and Tear next. It's one of the double face cards. So Tear destroys target enchantment for 1 white. Wear destroys target artifact for 1 red, 1 red, 1 colorless.
Or Fuse for a red, white, and 1.
Yeah.
And
if you discard a card from your hand, right?
Both halves of this card. No, you may cast one
Oh,
or
if it's
both
from your hand?
halves. Yeah, if it's from your
Okay,
hand.
cool. I actually have never read the bottom part of it. So, yeah, I actually definitely put it in to remove both.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was my thought process all along. Winks awkwardly with both eyes.
And then Wild Magic Surge. This is what my barbarian in my D&D session has. 2 red, destroy target permanent and opponent's destroy target permanent and opponent controls. Its controller may reveal cards from the top of their libraries until
Oh no, not may, they have to.
Controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a permanent card that shares a card type with that permanent. They put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of their library in a random order.
I like that one a lot.
That seems fun.
Yeah. Lands we don't have a ton that really matter. I just want to talk about one because it's a great like dollar card. It's Access Tunnel. It taps for a colorless or 3 target creature with power 3 or less can't be blocked. So our commander.
Yeah, he's not getting any bigger, right? Doesn't put counters on himself.
No, exactly. And even if he is bigger, that's fine. But like just the fact that we can get it through unblocked so fast, so many times, I like.
Yeah.
And then we've got just our last little sorceries here.
Obviously, this one.
Yeah, this is such a good one. I need to pick more of them up. I'm fully out of them now.
That's unheard of.
Take it away, Brian.
We have Austere Command, 4 and 2 white. Choose 2. Destroy all artifacts. Destroy all enchantments. Destroy all creatures with mana value 3 or less. Or destroy all creatures with mana value 4 or greater.
Yeah, I talk a lot of nonsense about being board wiped, but we are going to rebuild faster than anyone with our commander. If we do get board wiped, like our commander's just going to generate those tokens on the swing. It has haste.
Yeah.
There's not many people that can rebuild a board that has like 10 creatures as fast as us.
Or Marin, maybe.
Yeah, so Austere Command is gonna really, really help us out a lot. It works pretty good.
Destroys me. I'll be honest about that one.
Yeah. Austere Command, it's so much utility, right? It's got a place in like in nearly every game. It's got a place, and it might be a different place each game.
Oh, I didn't see this card. This one, the next card's art looks so cool.
Mm-hmm. I like this one a lot. The Cut a Deal.
Yeah, take it
All
away.
the Praetors in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vorinclex just bowing down in front.
Because it is from All Will Be One Commander, so it's sadly not more widely available, but it's a really, really good one. Oh, I guess it's also from Baldur's Gate too. Yeah, okay, yeah, it is from Baldur's Gate as well. I thought it was familiar, yes. But not with this cool artwork of Elish Norn and Vorinclex and Jin-Gitaxias and Shuldred.
Yeah.
Shockingly no Urabresk, but
get out of here.
Yeah, we've got each opponent draws a card, then you draw a card for each opponent who drew a card this way. 3 mana to draw 3 in white and get a little favor with the table. I got no problems with that.
Oh, I want that card. That actually helps me out quite a bit.
Which one? The Cut a Deal or the next one?
No, the Cut a Deal. But the next one looks interesting. Divine Gambit, 2 white. Exile target artifact or artifact creature or enchantment an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. Again, it all depends upon what you're removing.
Well, or you can see what's in their hand. You can say like Brian's only got 2 cards in hand. How good can it be compared to that?
That's true, actually.
And again, we're hitting artifact, creature, or enchantment. There's a lot of each of those things that I don't want removed from my board.
That's very true.
Right? I like it, and especially like if it's a spell slinging kind of deck.
Yep.
How much could they possibly still have? I really like Divine Gambit. I've been playing it more and more.
I
Again, I
haven't,
like
I've never
chaos,
seen
right?
it before. Yeah. Oh, it's from Kaldheim. Okay. I'm gonna
The flavor text on it, by the way, Brian.
there are rules and then there are gods. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
um,
Divine Gambit's awesome.
this next one, I need to definitely grab some of these too. Fragmentize, 1 white, destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost 4 or less. Yes, please.
Yeah, it's a
That's a
lot.
sorcery though.
Yeah, I wish it was instant, but again, that's okay.
Yeah.
The next one's a nice game closer. We've got the Hazardous Blast. 3 and a red. It deals 1 damage to each creature your opponents control, which some games can wipe their board. But creatures your opponents control can't block this turn. It's not that opponent. It's not a opponent. It's everyone. They can't block.
This is the card that you sealed us out with.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
me. You killed
I
me
made it
with
so
this
no one could
card.
block. Yeah, I told you it's a good game closer.
Yeah, you killed everybody, and then this is how you got through to me. Yep.
The
I
old bonk.
remember now. And then you're absolutely loving this
I'm gonna put it in every deck until the end of time.
Red Sun's Twilight, X and 2 red, destroy up to X target artifacts. If X is 5 or more, for each artifact destroyed this way, create a token that's a copy of it. Those tokens gain haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step.
I love it.
Yeah, that's so I love those ones. I don't run I haven't run them yet, but I really need
just
to.
being able to get something like that command sphere, like even some of the command spheres that I can start throwing
For a
away, right?
turn, yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have to throw them away or not. Like the same with all of them, right? I play with like so many artifacts. Again, I've got like 20 artifacts in this deck alone, right?
Yeah.
But there's so many people like you lose your soul ring, like I get an extra soul ring for the turn kind of thing. Like I really like the utility that this is gonna give us. And at the worst, it's removal, and people aren't running removal in the quantity they need.
True. Truth. I will praise that.
Right? We also have a Renegade Tactics. It's 1 red. Target creature can't block this turn. You draw a card. This, again, is for, I keep going back to Atraxa, but I see Atraxa in a lot of games. Otharri's only a 3/3, and if I've got a bonk Brian with a bird, then I got to make Atraxa unable to block.
Yep.
And again, just a card draw, so it's replacing itself pretty quickly.
And then we have Seize the Day, 3 in a red, untap target creature. After this main phase, there's an additional combat phase, followed by an additional main phase. Flashback, 2 in a red.
And again, we don't care that it's only 1 creature, right? Otharri is just making more. I just want to swing Otharri.
Yeah, that's it.
Right? It's so Seize the Day is definitely the extra combat card we want. And any extra combat card is going to be great, but I find that Seize the Day is definitely the one that fits the most on this theme.
Yeah, I guess you don't want to throw in like a Morog, right? Why is there a Minotaur in this Phoenix deck?
And again, you could, right? But you're the problem with a lot of the extra combats is that Otharri doesn't give them haste, right?
True.
So untapping all those rebels is kind of irrelevant, right? Like it doesn't really matter. Like then we get some blockers, but like meh, you know,
gaining the life.
Yeah, like it's not like they're lifelink rebel tokens, right? It's Otharri's lifelink. So we only care about Otharri swinging. At the end of the day, we don't care about the other things. So yeah, we could go more, but I think that this is like the cheapest of the options to do.
Totally.
Yeah, I really I think that Seize the Day definitely puts in just a pretty reasonable amount of work in the deck.
This next one I don't like.
Yeah, the next one is another game closer. This is single combat. This is the last one on our list here. It's 3 double white. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control, then they sacrifice the rest, and they can't cast creatures until the end of my next turn. That's a giant problem. So like, unless someone's holding like removal for Otharri, we're going to get at a minimum 2 swings of Otharri off before anyone else can make a single, like play another blocker. And it doesn't like the likelihood of having all 3 of my opponents have a 3 or bigger flyer that can't block Otharri that they're keeping, it's very small.
Yeah, out of 3 people. Yeah.
Right. So like Otharri's really gonna again, single combat is gonna wipe the board, it's gonna reset it, and it's gonna end in our favor for sure. Like we might get bonked, but again, people aren't able to play creatures out anyway, so it's not super there. It's also a destroy, or no, it's a sacrifice. Sorry, is what I was gonna say. So it's getting around that indestructible, that all of the
All
all
my
of
stuff is
the
indestructible, but you can't
yeah,
do anything
the
about it.
indestructible, the can't target, all of those things. I really really like it. Across our color distribution, it's definitely pretty white. Like we've got 40 like cards with like 40 white pips in the deck, 26 red pips, and we can produce 29 red mana, 30 white. It's a really really low CMC in a deck with a 5 mana commander. That's one thing I really like about this. It's 2.7
Oh,
is
okay, yeah,
our
that's good.
is our average. We've only got 6 cards, 4 cards at a 6 drop, 3 to 5, and then everything in the deck is under that 11, 4, 14, 14 at 3. We've got 24 in our 2 drop slot, so a lot of stuff is going to come down really early, and then we have 9 in the 1 drop, and we've got 2 zeros.
Seems pretty spread out.
Yeah, it's like I said, this is my Othari deck. I really really enjoy this one. I call it a glorious experience because yeah, it's yeah, it's I get it. Sun's glory, glorious experience counters, but yeah, it's just a deck that I find has been really really fun to play. Generally speaking, I assess decks on how fun they are based on how often I want to play them again, right? And
Yep,
Othari's been one that I've consistently really really enjoyed. Like I'm just a sucker for nice like Boros aggressive decks kind of thing, right? Like
you are a Boros boy.
yeah, they kind of pilot themselves a lot of the time. Like you don't pardon me, choking over here. You don't need to be a like mastermind to play this like Boros deck, right? Like it's pretty simple. Like you just swing the
Bird
bird. That's
swings.
it. Yeah, you just swing the bird at people. Those people die, and if they don't die, you swing the bird at them again, right? It's that's the whole point. If somebody can
Oh man,
transformation you, they become your enemy for life, and then you have to,
that's where I'll give you the indestructible bug.
right? But well, you gotta actually removal in here for one. It's also really really low on like this salt sum of like the EDH rec stuff or the architect stuff
Yeah,
wherever our deck list is. It's like it's lower than like the median and average by like a fair number. It's like a 21. It's nice and not salty.
that's the important thing, right?
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like I like being able to play some strong, fairly budget decks, right? And I don't know, like everyone's budget's going to be different. I see a lot of people putting up deck lists of like, oh, $40 deck list, and sure, you put $40 of cards in the deck, but it's not really playable, right? This
Yeah,
is this is something that's gonna be playable, something that you can build basically from scratch. I don't think $100 is going to break the bank for many people, and especially lots of us probably have a lot of this junk lying around anyways already.
yeah. If you have the bulk, you probably have most of it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's very upgradable with like what you have. You don't need to run all these like kind of artifacts that I'm running. There's pretty much every section is cheap, but half the deck's stuff is in the artifact section.
And some of your
Contagion Engine's
lands.
$18 alone. So like
And
just
you do have
don't
like some search lands and stuff like that, so you could
well
easily drop it down.
well not even that. Even if you took Helm of the Host is 850, so you're already $26 down. Halo Fountain 6, so like like 1/4 of the deck can be removed by like taking out 3
Three
cards.
cards.
But Halo Fountain's so good.
It is good.
Right? Like, yeah, it's like I said, it's just it's a fairly cheap deck. I hope people like it and would like to give it a try and stuff. It's really really fun. I thought that this it's been a while since I've been so phenomenally excited about the commanders
Yeah.
of just of like a set in general. Like I've skipped a lot of the command decks lately. We get like 50 commander decks a year right now, so
That's a lot of product.
yeah, we get so much, right? Like they just announced again, like March Machines is the commander list for this year, which crazy. We have to do a whole episode on that. The pair up stuff is nuts. But like there's gonna be 5 there. There's a commander master set this year. There's 4
Yeah.
there. So like we're already 9 more commander decks deep. And then I think there's either 4 or 5 for the Lord of the Rings. So we're sitting at 13 or 14 more commander decks for the year. Like, and it's February.
That's
right?
so true.
If you're watching on YouTube, pretend that I said it's March.
Right.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like it's just it, that's a lot. It's a lot of commander. I'm not infinitely made of money for cards. I only have so much card money. So, like I said, I really liked all of these. All for Vishgaz, I think is a super cool commander, and I made like a really cool flicker version of him because again, I live for the enter the battlefield.
Yep.
The Ixal, I haven't got to play my Ixal deck, but I've seen Brian's go. I've seen the test version of it, and let me tell you, those poison counters come quick.
I have so much fun with it. Like you said, it's the decks that you want to play over and over again. I've been really enjoying it
Well,
until I
it's
got to
got
have a
such a
taste of
cool.
what it's able to do, and then Daniel shut that down.
I don't like people taking my cards at all. I found that out. Right quick. Is this what I've been doing to everyone this whole time?
Yeah.
Why did no one tell me?
They probably did. You just weren't listening.
Yeah. Silent peasant. Yeah. Give me the cards. Yeah, no, it's silence, brother Brian. This is no time to be covetous.
Yep.
It's yeah, no, they losing your cards to Ixal's ability is rough because again, you know you're getting poisoned, so you're like, okay, I'm kind of close to death now. I'm 30% of the way to death once that ability's triggering, and he's taking my cards. I'm losing removal. It's bad. It's a bad time.
I was playing one game with it so far, and I think I got 6 lands from a single person.
Yeah.
I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "You're helping me out with my lands, but I want something else."
This like I said, this round of commanders, this set in general, I really liked this set, and I haven't really been as into the sets that have been coming out lately as I have with this, but like this set I think was a home run. It was just solid overall. There was a ton of playable cards in every like place, right? But
Mhm.
all 4 of those commanders are just so cool. I've built so much stuff around this deck and like around this set, and there's so many. Usually I don't see as many new commanders as I've seen with this set.
There's a lot.
Like that people actually want. Like I always build a lot, right? But like I'm seeing tons of like Ovika decks. I'm seeing like tons and tons of like people like really liking the Ixal, the Otharri, the Naali. Like
There's the
there's just
new rat commander too. All
oh
rats
yeah,
have or all rats have toxic.
yeah. There's like so many cool ones. Like I really like the Rhea. I bought so many of that. Like 1 second here of the Rhea. Like this one, the
The white.
yeah, the Bladehold one.
Yeah, Sherman actually built it.
Sherman built that one too.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah, that's a really fun. One of my favorite decks of all time. I know I'm rambling, and I'll wrap it up in a sec here. But one of my favorite decks of all time is my Shadrick Shady Deals deck. And Rhea's like another deck that I'm going to build in a similar fashion, right? I'll make my deals with people, and I'll be like, I'll give you card draw, but like I want to generate my might tokens. So let me swing Rhea at you. It'll like
anything.
be prevented. You don't take any of the damage. I just want to make my mites, and in return, I'll Wishclaw Talisman you. You can tutor a card. Right, like I just like making those deals. Like I love decks like that where I can decks that get you talking with the table is my favorite thing, right? This deck is definitely not one of them, except for I hit you with the bird.
Bird is the word of word.
The bird is the word, and the word is Boros is good.
I think people would argue that.
They'd be wrong. All right, I will end there.
So wait a minute. Before you do that, though, big thank you to our newest patron, Thunder Emperor's Command.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been really cool chatting as well in the Patreon area in general. It's been pretty fun in the Discord, so people are gonna happen more. Very cool deck building guides are coming out from that, so I'm hoping we can have them as a guest at some point because I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely check the Patreon out. We're gonna be doing more and more patron only games as well pretty soon, which will be fun. If you like our content, everything's available at intothe99.com. We'll be streaming next weekend, like I said, or if you're watching this on YouTube again, we'll be streaming a week in the past. But other than that, yeah, check out Brian's podcast. It's definitely a entertaining thing. It's mostly found on YouTube. You can find it on Spotify, all those other places. If you like what we're doing, give us a rating and stuff. It's really helpful for us getting found. Thanks to everyone who's given us ratings. I don't know what show you're watching, but I appreciate it anyways. And yeah, I just hope everyone has a great week. Thanks for getting to the end, and thanks for listening.